Hello. We begin with something that I think is going to be helpful because it helps me. So support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Z-Biotics. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't bounce back the way that I used to when I was in my 20s. So if I'm going out for dinner with friends or celebrating after the show, I always reach for Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink before that first glass of whatever it is. So here's why. When you drink, your body produces a toxic byproduct in your gut, and that's what makes you feel rough the next day. So Z-Biotics was created by PhD scientists to break that byproduct down before it builds up. So you can wake up feeling fresh and ready to go. So I first tried it before a big dinner party, as I told you, happened earlier in the year. I drank it before my first cocktail, and the next morning I was up early. I got ready to do the show, and it was all great, okay? And I still made the morning meeting with my team, and we did the show. No crash, no fog. So as football season heats up right now, and you're raising a glass or whatever it is at a tailgate or a game or a day party, make Z-Biotics your first drink of the night. Visit zbiotics.com/lemon. Use the code LEMON for 15% off of your first order. And remember, it is backed by a 100% money back guarantee. That's zbiotics.com/lemon. Now let's go. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Let's get started. So I changed some things. All right. We were ready to go. And I said, I'm a little bit late because I want to change some things. I want to add some things. And then we're just talking during our thing. I think TikTok was already up. And, I was talking about, let's get started. I don't bounce back like I'm in my 20s or whatever. And Peter threw a monkey wrench into the thing. And we started talking. And I went, oh, shit, we got to go. So I'm going to pose this to everybody. Good morning, everybody. We're going to get to the news. Don't worry about it. So, Peter, what was your question like no more than a minute or two ago as we were getting ready?
I said, Don, I'm so sorry, but I need to pose this to you and Andy.
Pew, pew to your head, not gun.
I said pew, pew to your head. Pew, pew to your head. If there is one song that defined your generation, oof, what is that song? And I know that's an impossible question. I know, chat, don't get angry at me. I know there's so much good music out there. I hear you. But again, pew pew to your head. If there is one song, it's you and everybody who's around your age. If you hear it at a wedding, if you hear it at a bar, everybody's getting up and taken to the dance floor. What is that song?
Oh, song of a generation. So, you mean like on the dance floor?
Yeah. Or it doesn't necessarily need to be a dancing song, but I don't know. I guess I'm biased in that I think that if a song defines a generation, it's probably a song you dance to, but it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be.
Ooh, someone said Purple Rain. That's a good one. So I am, Andy, do you want to go first or second?
Sure.
Wait, we heard what Peter's was. Wait, Peter, you didn't tell us what yours was. And then we can go to Andy. What is it?
Well, I must confess, this is absolutely white boy bias, but I told Don, I told Andy that mine is 100% Mr. Brightside by the Killers. And I'm sure the chat can attest to the fact, if you've ever been in a bar and you've been around some white folks and Mr. Brightside comes on, the place pops off. The place pops off.
That is true. I thought two songs came to mind for me, one from high school, one from college. The high school one, I remember in the cafeteria always hearing Yeah by Usher and Ludacris. You guys know that song?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a big one. And then in college, Kanye West Stronger was like the biggest song.
Wow. Well, I am of the MTV generation. And so there's so many like pop, rock, soul. Like I think the 80s, the late 80s were like, the 80s they were like the best for music because you had, what was that song? Shit, I can't think of the name of the song. But anyways, you had like Michael Jackson, you had, all the MTV, down. You had Owner of a Lonely Heart. Like all of those great songs. You had Tears for Fear. There was so many great songs, but dancing, I'm thinking it's probably a Michael Jackson song. It's probably Keep On with the Post Office. Don't stop till you get enough. Dun, 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 dun. Or Got Me Working Day and Night. So it was, if you want people to dance anywhere, no matter what generation, you put on a Michael Jackson song. I found you put Michael Jackson on and everybody gets on the dance floor.
That's
right.
True.
Yes, someone said Shaka Khan, let me rock you, Shaka Khan. So yes, that was good. And then there was also there was a song that I think is that never goes out of style. It could be a song that was made today, or it could be a song that was made 20, 30, 40 years ago. And that is the Daz Band. I think it's a Daz Band. Wanna see you whip it, sure to get you right. Give me just a minute of your time tonight. We both are here to have some fun, so let it whip it, baby. You guys probably don't even know that song.
I don't.
But that song gets people up on the dance floor, and it's just ubiquitous. It's timeless. That's the word I'm looking for. But I would say something from Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, or the next one I get Thriller. But anyways, I like Prince, but there were so many. I can't believe the song where it's like, oh yeah, like I came from the generation that was like, relax, don't do it.
Great one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So everybody gets on the floor with that one too, because it just reminds us of our youth. So there were just too many. But Rock With You is good.
We just don't have as much good music nowadays. It was better in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, also will make you dance is Want to Be Starting Something, Got to Be Starting Something. Mm-hmm. Beat It will make you get on the dance floor by Michael Jackson. What a name for a song, by that thing. PYT, boom, that's it. I want to love you, PYT, pretty young thing. That's a good one too. Anyway, that's it. Shall we get to the news now? You guys have any other? Does anybody want to amend their song, their dance songs? Or I forgot, Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper's here, and we're in a thing. Want you to push it, baby. Push it good. Push it real good. That made people dance.
Not a full amendment, but I feel like a Beyonce song would probably be in my generation's. Like,
my favorite Beyonce
Single
song.
Ladies, probably.
Single Ladies is good. Yeah, that's good. But what's the song? Beyonce's like first really big solo song that she sampled from like a 1960s group. What was that song? Why can't I think of the name of it? Because I'm on the spot. Beyonce sample. What was that song? Anyways.
Do you remember the album?
It was like the first thing that she did. You guys know which. Yeah, Crazy in Love.
Mm.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh. So that dun, 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 that was from a 1960s like girl group that they sampled that from. Everybody thinks like all this music is new. Most of the new music now, a lot of it is all samples. Like I'll hear a song, I'll be with like the social team because they're all kids, and I'll be like, "You guys know that what's the original song for that?" And they'll say, "What? What are you talking about?" There was like a Doja Cat song or somebody's song that was a sample of Dionne Warwick. They had no idea. Anyway, there you go. So yeah. So Granny says Opalite for Taylor Swift makes me dance. I don't really know any Taylor Swift songs, but that's just me. Anyways, you guys know any Taylor Swift songs that make you get on the dance floor?
No, I am not a Swiftie.
I know some of her songs, but not that get me on the dance floor, I don't think.
Careful, Andy. The Swifties are going to come for you.
Yeah, I just
sorry.
Good luck. Beautiful gowns. She's.
Who said that again? Was that Aretha Franklin?
Aretha, beautiful gowns. Anywho, All right, let's get on with the show. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning to everyone. I forgot, what is the show about? Let me look at the notes that Peter sent me. Good morning. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. Oh, Peter, thank you for reminding us. The facade of the East Wing of the White House came crumbling down yesterday. So that's in my notes from Peter. So we're going to talk about all of that. It's really a crazy time. We're laughing, but oh, wait a minute. Someone said, I'm bringing sexy back. That's a good one, too. People dance to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are joking around and having a good time. But here's the thing. What happened at the White House, this whole demolishing everything, is really, really awful. Like, there's some things that you're supposed to care about. You're supposed to care about tradition, history, architecture. Like, the White House obviously is a historic building. It's really like a monument, right? There's nothing that really defines America, not even the Capitol, as much as the White House does. No building. So when you see it being torn down, demolished, the East Wing, without it, I don't know if they even asked or got a pulse from the American people. It's really, I'm not going to start off cussing early in the morning because my mom is like, watch your mouth. It's really effing disgusting. It's really, really gross. And it's emblematic of everything that's wrong with this administration, everything that is going wrong with the country now. It's all problematic. It's really like it's a let them eat cake moment is basically what it is. Is let them eat cake. And I don't really know how else to, define it. I don't know, but it is a let them eat cake moment. How do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about what's happening at the White House? I don't know why this struck me so much. I think it's just sort of the, how do you want to describe it? It's the what of it all. I got to fix my little camera thing here. How would you describe it? It's just like the nerve, right? Is what I want to say. Stand by. It's like the nerve of them to do what they're doing to the White House. I can't see myself on the camera. Something is going on. I have no idea what's going on. Let me try to fix it now.
Looks fine to me.
There we go. Oh, it's fine. No, I couldn't see I have a thing where I can see myself in the camera and also can put my notes in there. So can we just show the pic? There's a live picture of the White House right now. And like, if someone shows you this, oh, that's the White House. That's America right there, right? Thank you. Someone says, I woke up depressed, says Chef Girl. I agree. I woke up depressed thinking about this. And I'll tell you why. Because as I was thinking, this is a let them eat cake moment. We like to we have like a myth. We tell ourselves like if something falls, if it's, it's got to be something that's big, right? It's got to be something that's big. Put up the White House in full. Take me off, Andy, because I just want you to see. That is great. And then, Andy, I want you to put up that picture from yesterday of the back end, which is demolished. I mean, just look at that. Let that settle in for one moment. Because we like to tell ourselves that, that great nations fall when it's like something that's very dramatic, something that's very big. You can put me back up now. Thank you, Andy. Something that's very big. We think it happens all at once. Like there's a big invasion, there's some like big coup, there's maybe a big catastrophic event that ends everything overnight, right? Something big happens. But I mean, that's really not how, if you look at the Roman Empire or any other empire, that's really not how empires collapse. They don't die with this like big bang. I'm telling you, ever since I gave you, the rotten apple thing, right? That whole metaphor, that whole comparison that I did with well, I shouldn't say metaphor, but the whole comparison that I did with the rotten apples when my in-laws gave me apples that they'd gotten from their neighbors with apple trees, and there were some of them were perfect, some of them weren't, and then the ones that were sort of rotted started rotting the other ones. Great nations rot from within. The decay is really, they decay slowly, almost imperceptibly, until one day the center can no longer hold because it's rotting out. That's exactly where America stands today. This is the White House, the live shot, Andy. This is the facade, right? This is what everyone is pretending. This is what the people who are occupying the White House right now, they're pretending normal, looks beautiful. The flag is flowing, the fountain's going, it just looks great. And then you go back to the other picture from the back, right? It's like being demolished. It's like a bomb has hit, or it is rotting from within. But the facade looks great. It's like a Hollywood facade. If you go onto a Hollywood soundstage or onto a back lot of a Hollywood studio, that is what decay looks like. That right there. Not soldiers at the gates. It's not foreign army storming our shores, but a government that is shut down for the 4th week in a row while families sit around the kitchen tables wondering how they're going to pay the rent. It looks like this is reality. Veterans losing access to services. Have you read the headlines? Have you seen the polling on all of this? It looks like small business is going under because federal contracts are frozen right now. Parents in Pennsylvania are learning that their SNAP benefits might not come. Did you see that? That was in the paper in Pennsylvania, one of the news channels in Pennsylvania. I watch the news sometimes because I used to live in Philly, and I saw that their SNAP benefits might not come. It looks like airports across this country. Did you know that? Airports are descending into chaos because there aren't enough air traffic controllers on duty to guide planes in, to coordinate airplanes. That's very dangerous. And while all of this is happening, while people are suffering, Donald Trump is building himself a ballroom. He has torn the east wing of the White House to bits. It is a literal $200 million ballroom that is carved out of the east wing of the White House, which is being demolished as we speak. Look at that. Chandeliers, marble, gold fixtures, a monument to vanity. Vanity. It's like, wow, like he can't see that in the middle of a national crisis. And for what? Because he wants it. Because the man who promised to drain the swamp is now gilding his palace, which means I don't think he wants to leave. I think he thinks it's his. I think he wants to stay there forever. If that doesn't sound familiar to you, I want you to go back. Now, I'm not a great at history, but I think Peter, you're a history major, right? So if you go back to the 18th century, to 18th century France, go back to the legend. This is the legend of Marie Antoinette, who, when told that the people had no bread, allegedly replied, "Let them eat cake." Now, look, I know historians said she probably never uttered those words, but I mean, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they captured the truth, those words. It's a ruling class that's so insulated, that's so self-absorbed that they couldn't even fathom the suffering outside their palace walls. That's where we are now, a country that is on its knees while the president orders new curtains for the ballroom, measuring the drapes. Remember, you see the backhoes and the bulldozers all there. That's what, his response to that when asked about how he's doing. And then he referenced his big, beautiful ballroom. That's what got Jimmy Kimmel in trouble, because Jimmy Kimmel, the truth is often spoken in jest and sometimes it can be cutting. And that really struck Donald Trump because he saw himself and the fool that he is and just how callous he is when he was asked about, hey, your friend Charlie Kirk just was, murdered. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. Look at our beautiful ballroom. And when he saw that and people laughed at it and they mocked him for it, oh, no, how dare you? Not only can you not talk about Charlie Kirk, who was racist, but you can't make fun of me being callous about his death. The contrast could not be clearer here. On one side, people are hurting, right? On the other side, the powerful people are partying, right? He's getting ready for a ball. Woo! And the public sees it. A brand new Ipsos poll shows that a majority of Americans, 60% as a matter of fact, blame Donald Trump and congressional Republicans for this shutdown. They know, people aren't stupid. They know who is holding the country hostage. They know who has turned, leadership or governance or whatever you want to call it into a game of political, this is brinksmanship. And the people are fed up, right? You saw what happened this weekend with at least 7 million people showing up and showing out. Meanwhile, the consequences are getting worse. More than half of all flight delays in America right now are due to staffing shortages. It's not weather. It's not mechanical problems. I sat in the airport the other night for hours. They said it was weather, but everybody else was landing. Some planes were taking off. They were going. I was like, okay, I don't know if this is all weather, but it's about staffing shortages. It's not about anything that is beyond our control. So it's just a lack of people to do the job there. One airport in California went 6 hours without staff-controlled tower, a staffed control tower. 6 freaking hours. Now imagine being in the air, looking out that tiny little window, and you're looking out and you're like, whoa, that plane is getting really close. And also, that no one's on the ground watching your flight path. That's not just mismanagement. That is dangerous negligence. This administration is negligent, and they are getting away with it. This is not Trump derangement syndrome. If you don't believe me, go it's conservatives and the Trump folks. They love to I did my own research. Go do your own research. And yet, what is their dear leader doing? What is Donald Trump doing? He's hosting Republican senators in the Rose Garden today for a show of unity, a photo op, while the nation buckles under the weight of Donald Trump's failures. He has a photo op, and he knows what the polling shows. That's why he's doing the stupid photo op. Donald Trump is also posting deranged, vulgar memes online, including one literally depicting him taking a dump on the American people. He's basically doing the same thing that the insurrectionists did in the Capitol on January 6th. They don't forget, they urinated and also smeared feces on the wall. Now, where did they get it? He's lashing out at critics. That is so disgusting, isn't it? But they actually did that. And then he actually did the posting that meme. He's ranting about his enemies. He is fixating on grievances. He's not governing. He is unraveling. And even some of the people closest to Donald Trump, they're starting to talk about his state of mind. They're talking about his erratic behavior. They're talking about his cankles, his swollen ankles, his discolored hands, the way he appears disoriented or out of it when he's in public, that he can't say certain words and that he's often at a loss of breath. And you really don't need a medical degree to see that something is off. Now, I'm not diagnosing him medically. I'm just telling you what people are saying. The most powerful man, and the reports, he has reported about his cankles and about his discolored hands, right? So go check that out. But the most powerful man in the world looks unhealthy. Look at him. He acts unhinged. He seems more obsessed with settling scores than solving problems. I mean, if you don't believe that, then just look at the Comey, Letitia James, John Bolton of it all. And while this is happening, the cruelty of his administration's policies continues to play out on the streets. ICE agents are detaining people in public spaces. Some undocumented, some citizens. And by the way, there's someone I want to respond to, because the people on the right, and they're pretending that they're only detaining people who have that they have warrants for, or there is some probable cause for, or people who are not American citizens. That is Bullshit. I've seen it. Check out the ProPublica report. That is effing bullshit. A lot of people who are either here legally, who were born here, who are U.S. citizens, people who are not criminals, are being caught up in this. And what ProPublica found, I think it was like 170 people. There are probably many more because they don't report it. Some of them are so probably embarrassed by it, perhaps. Some of them probably don't have agency or resources and they just don't want it reported. I don't want to get in trouble because they're afraid. So there are many more than that, I'm sure. You think this administration is keeping record? No. National Guard troops are out patrolling neighborhoods as if they were a police state. Fear that's the point, really, to get people afraid. It's not safety. It's not security. It's just fear. It's easier to weaponize fear. It keeps people quiet. But every now and then, in the middle of the noise, a moment of truth slips through. And we got one this week. Not on a podium, not at a hearing, but what looked like an off-camera conversation. Not this week. It was last week, I believe. I think it was last week. Or maybe the week before. Did you guys you saw the moment with Congresswoman Madeline Dean, the Speaker, and the House Speaker Mike Johnson? My understanding is that I think they had wrapped up or either were preparing or wrapped up an interview at MSNBC, and it was in the rotunda of one of the office buildings. And then the MSNBC cameras were still rolling, and it's not clear if they even knew that they were being recorded, but what that camera caught was powerful, and it was raw. You know what? Let me just play it so you can see it. Here it is.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing?
A lot of folks on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on foreign affairs and appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left.
You have a president who is unwell.
And she's right. I love that she pressed Johnson about the human cost of the shutdown too. Letting him know, and I think people should know that people can't buy groceries right now. Parents are struggling to make ends meet. The pain is being caused by political games from his party. And it wasn't a soundbite. It wasn't staged. It was a rare, unfiltered glimpse of conscience. And Johnson had nothing. He had no justification. He had no defense, just silence. And and people in your party like just blame the other side. Like, that's right. It was I know I am, but what are you, or something like this. Or I know you are, but what am I? I forget how the saying goes. I never played that when I was a kid. But his silence and his reaction said it all, because the truth is there is no defense for any of this. There is no justification for holding an entire country hostage just to satisfy one man's ego. No explanation for building a ballroom while federal workers go without pay. There's no excuse for grounding air traffic, stopping food assistance, terrorizing communities while tweeting out memes of yourself humiliating the nation you're supposed to serve, actually shitting on the people that you're supposed to serve. This isn't leadership. You are a public servant and you're taking a shit on the people that you're supposed to be serving. That's not leadership. It's delusion. It's decadence. This is sick. This man is sick. This man is sick. It is the behavior of a man who sees himself not as a president, but as a king, even though he says he's not a king. And the whole party, the way the whole party is behaving, they're too afraid or too complicit to stop him. But as I always say, old people be knowing. Here's the thing about moments like this, that they strip away the illusions. They force us to see the truth, and the truth is that Donald Trump doesn't care if the government stays shut down. He doesn't care if planes are delayed or families go hungry or if the economy buckles. He cares about two things: power, self-preservation, or three things: power, money, and self-preservation. Everything else is just collateral damage. So when we look back at history, especially with the White House thing, it just made me think about history and the way people are going to look back on this moment. History is not going to look kindly on this chapter. It won't remember the ballroom as a symbol of success. It's going to remember this as a let them eat cake, like a moment of arrogance. It's not going to remember that the shutdown standoffs as a principled fight. It's going to remember them as acts of cruelty. And it won't remember this presidency as a period of strength. I know that, he likes it, but it'll look at a weakness from the people rather than strength from a president. It's going to remember that it was a cautionary tale of a democracy that really mistook spectacle, right? The pomp and circumstance for substance, and a cult of personality figure for principle. So the question is not just when this shutdown will end, because it's gonna end. They always do, right? The question is whether we, the people, have learned anything from it, whether we are going to remember who caused it, whether we will hold them accountable, whether we're going to demand more than chandeliers and parties while our neighbors are standing in food lines. Because it's not just a shutdown, it's a teardown of trust, of governance, of leadership, of empathy, of compassion, of decency, of democracy itself. And if we don't stop it, if we don't push back, it's going to become something far worse. Far, far worse. So look, let me just restate this. Marie Antoinette probably never actually said, let them eat cake. But Donald Trump may as well have said it. And so the only question now is whether the American people are going to eat it, or whether we will finally say, that's enough. We are done. Time to move on. Your time is up, sir. A word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Beam. Let's be honest. The news isn't slowing down. Neither are our lives. But here's the thing. Rest is resistance. And one of the best ways to fight burnout is by getting real restorative sleep. That's why I use Beam's Dream Powder. It is a natural sleep blend with ingredients like reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, and melatonin, all designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up sharp. No grogginess, no fog, just energy and focus. So since I started using Dream, I feel clearer, more grounded, and more present, ready to tackle the day instead of dragging through it. And honestly, the cinnamon cocoa flavor has become part of my nightly routine. I like all of them, but that one is, it's kind of like having a cup of cocoa at night. So Beam has already helped improve over 17.5 million nights of sleep, and now it can help you too. Go to shopbeam.com/lemon and use the code LEMON to get up to 40% off, including their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. That's shopbeam.com, shopbeam.com/lemon. The Don Lemon Show is supported by Henson Shaving. If you're like me, you probably started shaving with the cheap multi-blade razor, you know the ones, right? And you probably got irritation, you got the razor burn or ingrown hairs, because almost everyone does. Well, Henson decided to fix that. Their razors are engineered with aerospace level precision, okay? Literally in the same shop that built parts for a Mars rover. Their blades are held so securely that they only stick out, get this, 0.0013 inches less than a human hair for an unbelievably smooth, gentle shave. I mean, look at this. I was just touting how great they are this morning in front of the mirror. When I switched to Henson, the difference was instant. No irritation, no bumps, just clean, comfortable shaves, and no plastic waste. Replacement blades cost less than 10 cents each. So once you own a Henson, shaving costs just a few dollars a year. So here's what you do. You go to hensonshaving.com/lemon and use the code LEMON to get 100 free blades with your razor. That's 2 years of shaving free. That's HENSON shaving, SHAVING.com/lemon. Smooth. I should have said smooth. Now, thank you, TikTok. Someone on the TikTok said that I should have said, it's time to say, Donald Trump, you're fired. It was a little corny, but I think it's perfect. It's right. Now, I love to give when I do the monologues. It was a little bit long today because we started off talking about, we took about 10 minutes talking about music. So let's play you what's happening with the White House. If you're not outraged by this, and you have no feeling. The reason also, and if you say, If you want to believe like you have no connection to the history of blah, 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 just remember who built the White House for free. Slave labor. I'm just, right? Among others. So we all are connected to this. Here's a report. This is from ABC News about what's happening with the White House.
This morning, demolition day at the White House. Crews tearing down walls as construction for President Trump's 90,000 square foot ballroom ramps up. The president once promised the project would not interfere with the current structure of the White House.
It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it.
Did you hear that? That's a lie, because you see, it won't interfere with the current building. This man lies every time he opens his freaking mouth. Keep going.
And pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite.
But bulldozers ripped away portions of the East Wing yesterday. The president hosting an event inside the White House, acknowledging the nearby demolition.
Right on the other side, you have a lot of construction going on, which you might hear periodically.
Constructed in 1902, the East Wing houses the office of the First Lady, as well as the visitor's entrance where the public can begin tours of the executive mansion. Expected to cost $250 million, the ballroom will be larger than the White House residence itself and able to hold nearly 1,000 people. President Trump insisting it's entirely funded through private donations. The president claiming, without providing any evidence, that he's paying for some of it himself. But Democrats are slamming the ballroom's construction amid a 3-week government shutdown and calling for President Trump to stop.
He should stop the wreckage of the White House, creating this Marie Antoinette ballroom for the billionaires and the CEOs and for all of his friends.
So the East Wing has been renovated before. A second story was added in 1942, but you heard it there. Many Democrats very critical of the way this is being done, and public tours here at the White House have been suspended indefinitely, George.
Okay. By the way, he's insisting that he's paying for some of it himself, but offering no evidence and no proof. Shocking. Are you surprised by that? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence and proof of the folks that you're picking up around the country that you're... Or there is some actual probable cause to do it? Where's the evidence of that? You've not shown any of it. Who approved this mess? Someone asked. No one did. Now, I think when they're supposed to do that, check me. If you're there, Peter or whomever, you guys check me at home. If you want to do any sort of renovation to the White House or anything like that, you've got to get the approval. And I believe it's from perhaps the Smithsonian or something like that. But Donald Trump is in charge of the Smithsonian. I think that you have to get approval, even perhaps from Congress or the American people. I need to bone up on that. So yeah, someone says, imagine if Barack Obama had done that. I mean, it would have been like, people making the jokes about, we call Air Force One soul plane, or they'd be like, oh, he's going to make a ghetto house. It would have been some racist shit like that. You guys know. And meanwhile, the Obamas are classy. Have you seen their homes? Gorgeous. Like extremely, extremely classy. Let's show some of the B-roll of the, do we show that all of the B-roll of the White House this morning, guys?
Yeah, I showed the two Jolly clips.
All right.
Yesterday.
This is Morning Joe discussing.
Donald Trump, who promised that he was not going to take a wrecking ball to the existing structure, has taking a wrecking ball to existing structure. I got to say, Meek, it really is. It is hard to watch that, and it's hard to believe that any president could destroy the White House and take a wrecking ball to an existing structure so historic. That is what's happening. It'd be one thing if you were building on or you were doing things inside, but to take literally a wrecking ball to the White House, it's grotesque. It's just grotesque.
Yeah, and this after the Rose Garden and I guess the patio that they have put in, which you could argue, but this
far different.
is painful. I mean, this is Historic structure.
It's history being torn to shreds. And again, is everybody? I mean, so if somebody wants to go into the White House, the next person wants to just knock down all the walls and turn it into a disco. Congress can't do anything. I mean, seriously, you're destroying like one of the most historic structures on the planet.
Yeah. And the cost.
And are we saying that whoever we elect president has the right to destroy? Like what? Just tear things up, tear it to the ground, turn it into something else? Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's not your home that you purchased in Jersey.
No, it's not yours. You rent it from the American people for 4 years.
Now, if I want to do anything into in my apartment, I've got to get approval from someone, from a board. And you guys know HOA, if you live in a neighborhood in HOA, you can't even paint your house certain colors that you may want. Nope, can't be, it's got to be whatever. If you live in an historic neighborhood, they'll tell you, you can't do that. That's not an approved historic window or color. You can't change it. You can't change your fence. It's got to be that certain kind of way. Put that one back up, please, about the Obama. Remember, right, the vegetable garden where people freaked out from Michelle Obama putting in a vegetable garden. What is she doing? She says, oh my gosh, these people don't know what they're doing. Go back and look. And now they're show that. Look at this is the rose garden. Look how beautiful the rose garden is. This is before. Look how beautiful that is. Look at this shit on the right now. It is so tacky. It looks like an Olive Garden or what is it? Peter said a Panera Bread, like a patio out on in a mall or on a college campus in a food court. It is so tacky. It looks like my grandmother's 1970s patio that Uncle Lucius, who had the concrete company, is trying to start his concrete business. Said, look, let me do your patio, Barbara. Let me do your patio. I can do your patio. And then you poured it and you're like, oh, thank you. It looks great. And then you just painted the thing and you put some of those metal chairs out there with the metal table and an umbrella, and you thought you were balling. That's what this shit looks like. Tacky. You know, Countess Luann de Lesseps was right. Money doesn't buy you class. These people they have no idea. They have no self-awareness. Nothing. None. Look at that tacky shit. More to come. Word from our sponsors. Support comes from Lean. We've all tried diets that don't last, but here's what I didn't know. That cycle of losing and gaining weight over and over again has a name. It's called weight cycling, and it can increase your risk of heart attack, diabetes, and even more. That's why doctors created Lean. It's a non-prescription supplement. It's designed to help you lose weight and keep it off. It targets weight loss in 3 key ways: maintaining healthy blood sugar, controlling cravings, and converting fat into energy. The result, you're not just dropping pounds, you're building a healthier metabolism and breaking that gain cycle for good. So if you're ready to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace and finally keep it off, go to takelean.com and use the code LEMON for 20% off. That's TAKELEAN.com, code LEMON. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Ali. Anyone who knows me, they know my dogs are my family. And like family, I want the best for them. That's why I switched them to Ali. Fresh, human-grade meals made with real ingredients and tailored to their needs. You know, Ali's meals are crafted by vet nutritionists, slow cooked for maximum nutrition and delivered right to your door. And even my pickiest eater, Gus, cleans the bowl every time. You know, I've noticed more energy, shinier coats, and just overall happier pups. You can take a quick 30-second quiz. You can get a customized meal plan made just for your dog. Plus, Ali even offers on-demand health screenings through their app. So you're not just feeding your dog, you're supporting their long-term health. So go to ali.com/lemon, fill out the quiz, and use the code LEMON for 60% off of your first box. That's OLLIE.com/lemon pups.com/lemon and use the code LEMON. Your pups will thank you for it. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Okay, so listen, thank you, sponsors. I had someone in the TikTok as we were doing the ad. I was reading some of the comments on TikTok, and someone said the Democrats tear down monuments or whatever to erase their racist history. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. That is like the dumbest sort of, let me place the blame on you when it's actually me who is the racist. Because people want to remove, imagine, okay, let's say this. Let me just ask this, right? Because I'm going to use a figure now, and then I'll get back to the White House. So you know how you guys feel about George Floyd, right? Now, George Floyd died at the hands of a police officer. We all saw it. He's in jail. He's in prison now. Not going to get out because it's federal charge. Trump and it's state charge. Trump can't exonerate him. So, or can't pardon him, I should say. So here's the thing. Now imagine if your kid, racist, MAGA, Trump, asshole, would your kid want to go to a school that was named the George Floyd High School? What about the Don Lemon High School? Now, not that I'm, comparing that to, so I'm just saying, and these aren't even controversial things, because perhaps in Minneapolis, they may actually name a school George Floyd, which would be perfectly fine and reasonable considering how he died and the impact it had on the world. And maybe a school in Louisiana somewhere, a broadcasting school, might actually become a Don Lemon school, right? Especially if I become the person who pays for it with an endowment. But for a bigot like Robert E. Lee and all that, like I don't want my kids going to Robert E. Lee High School. Imagine what that's like. I'm just saying. I don't want my kids going to a school or to a place that displays the Confederate flag. We all know what the Confederate flag means. Do you know what that means? You guys know what that bullshit means, but you just pretend you're just fucking racist and ignorant. This is more video of the White House being demolished, at least part of the White House. Is there any sound on this, Andy, or is it just video? There you go. Remember, Donald Trump said the original structure would not be touched. It was going to complement the other, and this is the original structure. So he is lying. A total 100% lie. Now, this is what I just want to show, and this is how much he lies, and this is how much this is a let them eat cake moment. I just want to play this because this is Donald Trump. This is what got Jimmy Kimmel in trouble. Because when Donald Trump saw this, and when MAGA saw this, they saw themselves and they saw how ridiculous Donald Trump is and how callous he is and how he used and they did, MAGA and Republicans used Charlie Kirk's death. They grifted off of Charlie Kirk's death. And then they had the white nationalist racist memorial. This is what pissed Donald Trump off. And this shows you how much what he actually cares about. And that is the pageantry, the let them eat cake moment, the ballroom. He doesn't give a shit about Charlie Kirk. Watch.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
No damn body wanted anything to do with that. Nobody wanted a ballroom. This is Donald Trump wanting a ballroom. That's what Donald Trump wanted. Amazing. Now, let's get back to the shutdown, shall we? Because Mike Johnson has been saying, well, he can't swear in Grijalva because of all kinds of things, that when she was elected and that the government is shut down, and all of which are lies. And I'm just let me play this one more time, and then I will show you Mike Johnson on Grijalva and the TikTok videos. But this is Mike Johnson on with Jonathan Karl. I played it yesterday, but I want to play it again just so you can see how ridiculous it is. Here it is.
When are you going to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva?
As soon as we get back to legislative session, when Chuck Schumer allows us to turn the lights back on.
Why haven't you done it already?
Because this is the way the institution works. I'm following the Pelosi precedent, by the way, when my dear friend from Louisiana, Julia Letlow, was elected to fill the seat of her deceased husband because of COVID. Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to swear her in. By the way,
are you saying? Let me stop you. Are you saying that Nancy Pelosi refused to swear her in earlier?
No, I'm saying that's my very point. Is this is the normal
my
process.
understanding is that was the date that actually the representative-elect Letlow at the time requested. She had obviously her.
Okay, here's some more examples. Okay.
No, but wait a minute. You mentioned the Pelosi precedent, but Pelosi didn't delay that.
Let me give you more of the Pelosi precedent. Okay.
And what about the Johnson precedent? Because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after their election.
I'm happy to answer. Pelosi precedent. Pat Ryan, Joe Simpolinski. They were elected during an August recess. So 21 days later, when the House returned to regular legislative session, they were administered the oath. That's what we're doing. We're not in session right now. Rep. Grijalva was elected after the House was out of session. As soon as we return to legislative session, as soon as the Democrats decide to turn the lights back on so we can all get back here, I will administer the oath on the first day.
You could swear her in tomorrow, right?
No, not tomorrow. No, we couldn't. We wouldn't. There was an exception for 2 Floridians earlier in this Congress, but the reason was they were duly elected, they had a date set, they flew in all their friends and family, and the House went out of session.
So if she flies in friends and family, then
we don't have a date set. She was elected after.
Okay. Let me ask you about the president.
Bullshit. That's all bullshit. What's the TikTok one that is in there? I forget what that is. Can we see that one?
It's this one.
Okay, let's see it.
We are not in legislative session. The chronology is important. Rep. Grijalva won her race in I think it was the last week of September after we had already gone out of session. So I will administer the oath to her, I hope on the first day we come back, legislative session. I'm willing and anxious to do that. In the meantime, instead of doing TikTok videos, she should be serving her constituents. She could be taking their calls. She can be directing them, trying to help them through the crisis that the Democrats have created by shutting down the government.
She can't do it because she's not sworn in. I don't even know if it's legal or ethical for her to be able to do that if she has not been sworn in. What are you talking about, Mike Johnson? Maybe rules don't matter to some certain lawmakers or a certain party, but they matter for some, and I think it matters to Representative Grijalva. Yeah, the government is shut down, and it is problematic that the government is shut down. But Republicans are being blamed for it. If you look at the polls now, I think that the one poll that says 60-some% of people blame the Republicans. And as far as the messaging, I think 73% of Americans agree with the messaging from the Democrats on healthcare, that they actually did it right this time. Healthcare is a big issue. And I got to tell you guys, okay? You may not even be aware of it right now, but open enrollment is coming up just in general for healthcare, right? The open enrollment is coming up, but right now we're already in Medicare enrollment. A lot of things have changed with Medicare. There's an open enrollment now for Medicare. You may think that you have a plan and that it's working and that it's going to stay the way it is, or that you're going to keep your doctor. I want you guys to know that that's not necessarily so. And you have to do your homework, and you have to do it with someone who's reliable. I'm going to show you this, and then I'm back in a second. Watch. I want to talk to you about something that really matters, especially if you are 64 years old or older. It's Medicare annual enrollment season. And this is a time to pay attention, everyone. I just went through it with my mom, and perhaps you have been there too, sitting at the kitchen table, buried in paperwork, trying to make sense of it all. Plans have changed. Some were even canceled. And get this, according to the Wall Street Journal, if you're not careful, you could end up paying more, even lose coverage for your doctor, for the doctor that you trust. So pay attention. That's why I am telling you about Chapter. Chapter is the Don Lemon Show Network's new health partner. They review every plan nationwide to find out what's best for you, not what makes them money. Their help is 100% free. It takes about 20 minutes, and on average, people save around $1,100 a year. So don't wait. Call Chapter at 212-931-0855 before December 7th and make sure you and your family are protected. Just make sure you're protected, okay? I just want you guys to make sure, and that's a limited thing that I'm going to run there, but I just want you to make sure, and I want you to be, to go with someone that can actually advise you on what one fits you best, okay? So just make sure, check it out and make sure. Okay, so we're talking about Mike Johnson. I just want you guys to take a look at this. Is me. Okay, you guys ready? Should I say being petty? Not being petty, I don't know. But this is Mike Johnson. This guy is claiming that he grew up where Mike Johnson did. I just want you to listen. This is on the social media. It's already out there, but here you go.
Mike Johnson's my cousin, and if it makes you feel any better, my family thinks he's a little weasel too. When Mike went to college, he came back and he was really, really into ministry. For instance, he made me and my friends feel really bad about the fact that we were dating people, guys, girls, whatever. And Mike would say, you should come preach with me down at the truck stop. And apparently Mike was kind enough to go and minister with truckers in their cabins, their trucks. Every night he'd bring the Bible and he'd help those men find some comfort on the road in Christ. Mike says he's met his wife in church, but that's not true. See, they actually met at a Mary Kay makeup party. Mike used to like to go there to pick up chicks, but the thing that Mike was most known for in Shreveport was his ability to suck up. See, the richest man in Shreveport loved to fish, so Mike would wait in the bayou in the water with some snorkels, and he'd have a fish with him. And as soon as that man would cast, Mike would go underwater, put the fish on the line alive, then he'd get out, the man would struggle, and Mike would walk up on him and say, "Mr. Phillip, looks like you got a big one." So Mike would be there every time Mr. Phillip caught the big fish that Mike put on the pole for him. Well, Mr. Phillip got to liking Mike, called him his little lucky rabbit's foot.
This is just satire, but it looks like Mike Johnson spends more money on makeup than his constituents have to spend on groceries, and so therefore we're going to continue to roast him. Be sure to follow along.
So the guy said, it's a satire, but it looks like. Anyways, I want to show you that. It's out there. Hey, look, it's all you have to do is go online and you can see it. And you know what the streets are saying about Mike. Okay, guys, if you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, you can go to donlemon.com, and you can click on watch at the top. And there you can find our main page, which is on the YouTube. You can subscribe there, or you can join. If you join and become a member, we would really appreciate it. That keeps us viable out here on the streaming streets. Our memberships are extremely reasonable. And so I want to welcome all of our members and welcome all of our subscribers. Subscriptions are free, and it's right at the bottom of the screen. You can subscribe to the Don Lemon channel. Okay, so that was fun. Also, no, I won't. I'll do the picture later. I'll do the picture later of the airplane thing later. I don't know if I want to get to that one. Anyways, anywho, thank you. We don't have any merch picks, right? We did them all yesterday.
We have a few. You sent me some.
I did?
That we have. Yeah.
What did I send? Let me see.
Came from your email at least.
Oh no, that was probably from the show email, and it has my name on it.
It's probably they're from Nikki. Well, I have 3.
All right, let's see.
This is Coolidge.
Hey, Coolidge. I love the hat. Coolidge. Wait a minute. Let me get this in. Hello, Coolidge. Nice hat, brother. Thank you. Handsome gent. Thank you for your support. Who else?
We have Gail.
Gail, I wore that shirt yesterday. Look at the skin. Beautiful, Gail. It's a gorgeous lady. Thank you for your support.
And we have Christy from Richmond.
Hi, Christy. I almost picked that one out to wear today, and then I said, no, I think I wore blue in the other day. Hi, beautiful. Thank you for your support. That's it?
That's it.
Thanks, everybody. Okay. So I'm going to see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern time on the Don Lemon Show, on the Don Lemon channel. Until then, I want you to be informed without being inundated. Be cool. Don't be all outraged. Be cool. Don't be all like uncool. I'm quoting Luann a lot. By the way, Luann is my neighbor. Anyways. All right. So until I see you back here, turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will